So I believe my fuck it moment was probably, it was probably about 2012. My son went in the military, and my son's got a pretty high intellect, so he's always hanging around older people and so on and so forth. And so he's in the military. He just got the base, and so he's hanging out with the sergeant. Sergeant showing him the ropes, whatever. He's not on dope or alcohol or none of that. With the other kids, is kicking it, whatever. And so, man, he's been in there about 30 days, and God laid it on my heart. Something was wrong with him. He didn't say nothing was wrong, so I called him. I said, "What's going on? You all right?" And man, he told me that his sergeant had who's a man, put a date rape drug in his drink. And when he woke up, the guy was going down on him. So he passed out. And when he woke up, that this is what this man was doing. He said, and my son's not violent. My kids, I didn't allow them to be around violence. They never knew I struggled with violence. And so, but he said, "Dad, every time I close my eyes, all I see myself doing is killing this man." And so I had to take a big approach, and I'm a man of my word. And so I told him, I said, "Listen, we can't handle this like animals. We have to handle this professionally." Now, in my head, the only thing I can think of is killed. I don't got nothing, but I got to be here for my son. And so we left Kansas City, went all the way to Mountain Home, Idaho. So we get there. This guy's still walking around. He's not charged or nothing. So we get there, we pick him up, and the Master Chief Sergeant, we got a meeting with him because I'm taking my son. I don't care nothing about no military. I wasn't raised like this. I'm taking my son up out of here. I'm not going to let him kill this dude. You know what I'm saying? I'll kill him. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to let him get in trouble for this. And so we meet with the Master Chief Sergeant. And this is so funny. So my wife and my son are sitting in the meeting. So we're talking, and he's saying, "Yeah, we'll be able to get him shipped out of here in about 12 to 18 months. So I said, "Could you and Bubba go outside in the hallway so I can, talk to him?" And so I told him, I said, "Listen," I said, "I'm taking my son. He's leaving." And I said, "My son's not violent, but I am." And I said, "He's leaving if I live or die." And I mean that. And he stopped me. He said, "Okay." He said, "Listen," he said, "I'm a father too." And I wasn't going to say anything now, but he said, I wasn't going to write him up to be AWOL or nothing. We'll get him processed out immediately and get him back home. I said, "Okay." From that point, he comes back to Kansas City, Whiteman Air Force Base, and he's mentally messed up. I'm really mentally messed up because I'm blaming myself for this that happened to my son. Although there was nothing I can do, I still blame myself because I've always felt like I'm his protector. Come to find out, this dude is a serial rapist. And he's done this for like the last 15 years. And other kids have turned them in. The only thing is, when they do a drug test on the kid's got drugs in their system, so they dishonorably discharge the kid. They start investigating and finding out he's a serial. So they start calling all these people back. They said, "Well, if you want to re-enlist, we'll put you back. We'll get you an honorable discharge now. We'll take that off. Would you guys come and, come back to court and testify about what happened?" So finally we go to court. He's 10 feet away from me. And I'm having emotions inside of me that I can't explain. I'm literally going absolutely crazy in the inside because this guy's 10 feet away from me. It's the first time I've ever seen him. And my son's right there. He's 10 feet away too, except on the other side. But I made a promise to my son that we can't handle it like animals. So I had to hold all of this down just to keep my word for my son. Well, anyway, this was really aspiring. It was a horrible situation. This guy ends up going to prison. He's still in prison now. And after that, we come back to Whiteman Air Force Base, and then he got to speak to other people that, had similar situations in the military. And I actually was a guest speaker there as well, where I got to stand up and speak to thousands of people about, being a parent of something like this. So there was a lot of parents and kids there. So it ended up being a really good. My son is He's still active with vets now. He's got a non-for-profit set up for vets because suicide is so high. And they're struggling with a lot of different things. So it ended up being a good thing at the end, but it was a tragedy in the beginning when this first happened. God brought us through, man, and I had to keep my word for my son, you know? And that's the only thing that was in my head, because had it not been for that, it would have been an absolutely, totally different story. So I want to shout out my son, Robert McDaniel Jr., and I want to let everybody know about his non-for-profit, because he set up a center where vets can come and talk to other vets and other people who's been in similar situations. And talking and getting stuff off your chest is something that men don't do a lot, but it's much needed, bad. And so you can reach him at Caman United Help at wixsite.com. I'll say it again. Caman United Help at Wix, W-I-X, site.com. And that's spelled CamanUnitedHelp at W-I-X, S as in Sam, I, T as in Tom, E as in Eric.com. So this is Big Rob Savage. Make sure you check out 24/7 HH, and always, no matter what, always remember that you create your future. And you know when you create it? Today. Whatever you do today is your future for tomorrow. Always remember that.